Have you ever felt a deep, gnawing sense that you are capable of more? That within you lies a stronger, more disciplined, and more powerful version of yourself, waiting to be unleashed? A version that doesn't just dream of a better life, but builds it, brick by relentless brick. We live in a world that preaches comfort, that sells us the lie of ease and tells us to follow our fleeting impulses. But the truth, the ancient and unyielding truth, is that the path to becoming the best version of yourself is not paved with comfort, but with courage, not with ease, but with effort. It is a path of relentless discipline, unwavering focus, and the kind of strength that is forged only in the fires of adversity. Today, we are not here to talk about shortcuts. We are here to uncover the timeless principles, the ironclad rules that have guided the greatest men and women in history. These are the rules that separate the masters from the masses, the architects of their destiny from the prisoners of their circumstances. And if you stay with me until the end, I will share with you an ancient story that perfectly captures today's episode. Our first rule is the cornerstone upon which all others are built. Discipline is freedom. This sounds like a paradox, doesn't it? We are taught that freedom is the absence of restraint, the ability to do whatever we want, whenever we want. But the Stoics knew better. The Roman emperor and philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." True freedom is not the liberty to indulge every whim and passion. That is not freedom. It is slavery to our lowest impulses. The person who cannot resist the urge to check their phone every 2 minutes is not free. They are a slave to distraction. The person who cannot control their temper is not free. They are a slave to their anger. The person who cannot stick to a plan is not free. They are a slave to their own inconsistency. True freedom, the kind that leads to a life of purpose and fulfillment, is internal. It is the freedom that comes from self-mastery, from the disciplined ability to choose your thoughts, your actions, and your responses. It is the power to say no to the fleeting pleasure of the moment in favor of the lasting fulfillment of your long-term goals. Epictetus, a former slave who became one of the most respected Stoic philosophers, said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Think about that. A man who was once owned by another understood that the chains of impulse are far stronger than any physical shackles. When you build the discipline to wake up early, to train your body, to focus your mind, to eat what fuels you rather than what merely tempts you, you are not restricting yourself. You are liberating yourself. You are breaking the chains of your own weaknesses and forging the keys to your own potential. Every act of discipline is a declaration of independence from your lesser self. It is the conscious choice to be governed by your values, not your moods. This is the ultimate freedom, the freedom to become the person you were truly meant to be. This leads us directly to our second rule, relentless focus. In an age of constant information and endless distraction, focus has become a superpower. Our attention is the most valuable currency we possess, and yet we give it away so cheaply. We allow our minds to be pulled in 1,000 different directions by notifications, by gossip, by the trivial urgencies of others. The result is a scattered mind, a diluted energy, and a life of unfulfilled potential. The great inventor Alexander Graham Bell once said, "Concentrate all your thoughts upon the work at hand. The sun's rays do not burn until brought to a focus." This is a profound truth. A magnifying glass can take the gentle warmth of the sun and concentrate it into a beam so powerful it can start a fire. Your mind is that magnifying glass. When your focus is scattered, your energy is weak and ineffective. But when you learn to concentrate it, to pour all of your mental and emotional resources into a single, defined mission, you become an unstoppable force. Relentless focus means consciously choosing what matters and ruthlessly eliminating what doesn't. It means having the courage to say no to good opportunities so you can say yes to the great ones. It means creating an environment that protects your attention, not one that constantly assaults it. Turn off the notifications. Set aside specific times for deep work, free from interruption. Be intentional about what you consume, whether it's information, entertainment, or conversations. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "It is essential to remember that the attention we give to any action should be proportional to its value." Are you giving your most valuable attention to your most important goals? Or are you squandering it on things that will not matter in a day, a week, or a year? To become the best version of yourself, you must become a warrior for your focus. You must guard it fiercely, direct it with precision, and understand that where your attention goes, your life goes. Cut away the trivial, and you will find the triumphant. Of course, the path of focus and discipline is never a straight line. You will face setbacks. You will encounter obstacles. You will fail. And that is why our third rule is so critical: resilience. The measure of a person is not whether they fall, but how they rise. Hardship is not a sign that you are on the wrong path. It is an integral part of the path to greatness. The Stoics had a phrase for this: the obstacle is the way. They understood that pressure is what forges strength, that challenges are what build character. Seneca, a great Stoic philosopher and advisor to Emperor Nero, wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. We go to the gym and lift heavy weights to break down our muscles so they can grow back stronger. Why do we expect our minds and our character to be any different?" Resilience is the psychological equivalent of that muscular growth. It is the ability to endure hardship, to learn from failure, and to come back stronger and wiser than before. The strongest version of yourself is not the one who has never been knocked down. It is the one who has been knocked down 100 times and has gotten up 101. Every failure is a lesson. Every setback is a test. Every moment of pain is an opportunity to practice courage, patience, and fortitude. When you face adversity, you have a choice. You can see it as a cruel twist of fate, a reason to give up, a confirmation of your own inadequacy. Or you can see it as the universe providing you with the exact challenge you need to grow. You can ask, why is this happening to me? Or you can ask, what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger? The best version of yourself does not pray for an easy life. It prays for the strength to endure a difficult one. It doesn't avoid the storm. It learns to sail in it. Remember the words of the inventor Thomas Edison, who, after thousands of failed attempts to create the light bulb, said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That is the mindset of resilience. It is the engine of all great achievement. But resilience is not just about bouncing back from major disasters. It is forged in the small, daily choices we make. This brings us to our fourth rule: consistency. Greatness is not born from a single act of courage or a momentary burst of inspiration. It is the result of small, seemingly insignificant habits, practiced day in and day out, with relentless consistency. The author and philosopher Will Durant summarized the wisdom of Aristotle when he wrote, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. This is one of the most powerful truths of human potential. We tend to overestimate the importance of big, dramatic moments and underestimate the value of small, daily improvements. We want to get in shape, so we plan a grueling 2-hour workout, do it once, and then collapse for a week. We want to write a book, so we try to write 50 pages in one weekend, burn out, and don't touch it again for months. The path to mastery is quieter, less glamorous, but infinitely more effective. It is the path of the daily habit, the 1% improvement, the commitment to show up, especially on the days you don't feel like it. The person who becomes a master pianist doesn't just practice when they are inspired. They practice every single day, whether they feel like it or not. The person who builds a successful business doesn't just work hard when they see immediate results. They put in the hours day after day, trusting in the power of compounding effort. The ancient Greek poet Archilochus said, "We don't rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our systems." Your habits are your systems. Your daily routines are the architecture of your life. If you want to change your life, don't just focus on the goal. Focus on building the daily habits that make the goal inevitable. Do you want to be a writer? Write 1 page a day. Do you want to be fit? Walk for 30 minutes a day. Do you want to be knowledgeable? Read 10 pages a day. These actions may seem small, but compounded over time, they create a force of momentum that is unstoppable. Consistency is the engine of compound growth, and it is the secret weapon of everyone who achieves lasting greatness. Now, where is this work of consistency and focus best done? Our fifth rule provides the answer: solitude. Power is built in silence, not in crowds. In our hyper-connected world, solitude is often seen as a form of punishment or a sign of loneliness. We are conditioned to seek constant stimulation, to fill every empty moment with noise, with content, with the company of others. But the greatest minds in history understood the profound power of being alone. It is in solitude that we can finally hear our own thoughts, untainted by the opinions and expectations of others. It is in solitude that we can do the deep work required to master a skill. It is in solitude that we can confront our weaknesses, reflect on our values, and strategically plan our future. The great inventor Nikola Tesla, a man whose mind literally electrified the world, said, "The mind is sharper and keener in seclusion and uninterrupted solitude. Originality thrives in seclusion, free of outside influences beating upon us to cripple the creative mind. Be alone, that is the secret of invention. Be alone, that is when ideas are born." Think of the monk in meditation, the writer in their study, the scientist in their lab, the athlete reviewing their performance. The real work, the work that leads to breakthroughs, is almost always done alone. Solitude is not about escaping the world, it is about preparing yourself to engage with the world more effectively. It is the time you take to sharpen your axe before you go out to chop the wood. It is the strategic retreat that allows you to advance with greater force and clarity. To become the best version of yourself, you must become comfortable with your own company. You must carve out time to be alone with your thoughts, your goals, and your work. It is in the quiet moments of reflection that you will find the clarity and strength to make the loudest impact on the world. As you cultivate this inner world, you must also learn to manage your most precious resource. This is our sixth rule: command your energy. Your energy, your physical, mental, and emotional vitality, is the fuel for everything you do. It is a finite resource that gets depleted and must be replenished. The strongest version of yourself is not just disciplined and focused. They are also a master of energy management. They understand what gives them energy and what drains it, and they live their life accordingly. The German philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer noted, "The two enemies of human happiness are pain and boredom. Both of these are states of depleted energy. Pain drains us through stress and suffering, while boredom drains us through a lack of engagement and purpose." Commanding your energy means being a ruthless guardian of your vitality. It starts with the fundamentals: quality sleep, nutritious food, and regular physical activity. These are not luxuries. They are non-negotiable foundations for a high-performance life. But it goes deeper than that. It means understanding the energy of your emotions: anger, envy, resentment. These are toxic emotions that burn through your energy reserves with nothing to show for it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it?" He understood that the emotional fallout from a moment of rage was far more damaging than the initial offense. Commanding your energy also means being mindful of the people you surround yourself with. Some people energize you, inspire you, and lift you up. Others drain you with their negativity, their complaints, and their drama. You must be a gatekeeper. Protect your energy as fiercely as you would protect your most valuable possession, because that is exactly what it is. Direct it consciously toward your purpose, invest it in activities and people that provide a positive return, and refuse to let it be siphoned away by triviality and negativity. A crucial part of commanding your energy is tied to the vessel that contains it. This brings us to our seventh rule: forge the body. The Stoics were not armchair philosophers. They understood the profound and inseparable connection between the mind and the body. They believed that a weak and undisciplined body would inevitably lead to a weak and undisciplined mind. The Roman poet Juvenal famously wrote, "Mens sana in corpore sano," which translates to "a sound mind and a sound body." This is not just a catchy phrase, it is a fundamental principle of human excellence. Your body is not just a vehicle to carry your brain around. It is the physical foundation of your entire existence. It is the instrument through which you express your will, your creativity, and your strength in the world. To forge the body means to treat it with the respect and discipline you would give to a priceless weapon. It means pushing it, challenging it, and making it strong, resilient, and capable. This is not about vanity. It is about building the physical fortitude required to withstand the pressures of life. When you push yourself through a difficult workout, you are not just building muscle, you are building mental toughness. You are teaching yourself to persevere through discomfort, to ignore the voice that tells you to quit, to be disciplined. The strength, energy, and resilience you build in the gym will translate directly into the boardroom, into your relationships, and into your ability to handle any challenge life throws at you. As the ancient Spartans believed, he who sweats more in training bleeds less in war. Your daily life is a form of battle. Forging your body is your training. It sharpens your mind, stabilizes your mood, and fills you with the physical power necessary to execute on your ambitions. Neglect your body, and you neglect the very foundation of your strength. As you build this personal power, you must ask yourself, for what purpose? This leads to our eighth and perhaps most profound rule: legacy. Live with intention, build what outlives you. We are all here for a finite time. The clock is always ticking. To live without a sense of legacy is to drift aimlessly, to be a ship without a rudder, pushed and pulled by the currents of circumstance. To become the best version of yourself is to live a life of purpose, to orient your actions around a mission that is larger than your own comfort or pleasure. It is to ask yourself the question that Marcus Aurelius constantly asked himself: what is my character and what is my role in the world? He understood that his life was not just his own, it was a part of a larger whole, a link in a chain stretching from the past into the future. Living with legacy in mind changes everything. It transforms your perspective from the short term to the long term. It forces you to think beyond immediate gratification and consider the impact of your actions on your family, your community, and the world. It gives you a reason to get up in the morning that transcends your own selfish desires. It provides a why that can endure any how. Your legacy is not necessarily about building a great monument or having your name written in history books. It can be in the values you instill in your children. It can be in the business you build that serves its customers with integrity. It can be in the art you create that inspires others. It can be in the kindness you show to a stranger. It is about consciously choosing to leave the world a little better than you found it. The Greek proverb says, "A society grows great when old men plant trees whose shade they know they shall never sit in." That is the essence of legacy. It is the ultimate act of a purposeful life, to build something that will provide value long after you are gone. To build a legacy, you must be a master of your most precious, non-renewable resource. This is our ninth rule: master time. We are all given the same 24 hours in a day. The difference between the master and the dabbler, the successful and the unsuccessful, lies in how they use those hours. Time is the one resource you can never get back. Once a moment is gone, it is gone forever. To waste time is to waste your life. Seneca wrote extensively on this topic, stating, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." He observed people who were incredibly careful with their money and property, yet were astonishingly frivolous with their time, the one thing they could never reclaim. Mastering time is not about scheduling every single second of your day or becoming a robot of productivity. It is about living with intention. It is about being fully present in whatever you are doing. When you are working, work with deep focus. When you are with your loved ones, be fully with them, not distracted by your phone or your worries. It is about understanding the value of each moment and allocating it with the same precision and purpose you would allocate your financial capital. It means saying no to time-wasting activities and people. It means investing your time in things that align with your values and your legacy. Ask yourself at the end of each day, did I spend my time or did I invest it? Spending time is passive. It just disappears. Investing time yields a return, whether it's in the form of new knowledge, a stronger body, a deeper relationship, or progress toward your goals. The best version of yourself is a jealous guardian of their time. They understand that their life is the sum of their moments, and they make every moment count. Finally, none of this journey is undertaken in a vacuum. We are social creatures, profoundly influenced by those around us. This brings us to our 10th and final rule: choose your circle wisely. The people you surround yourself with are the architects of your environment, and your environment will inevitably shape you. The author and speaker Jim Rohn famously said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." This is a stark and powerful truth. If you surround yourself with people who are ambitious, disciplined, and positive, their standards will become your standards. You will be lifted up by their energy and inspired by their example. Conversely, if you surround yourself with people who are lazy, negative, and complacent, their attitudes will infect you. You will find your own ambitions shrinking, your own energy draining, and your own standards slipping. Choosing your circle is not about being arrogant or elitist. It is about self-preservation. It is about recognizing that you have a responsibility to protect your own journey of growth. You cannot afford to let the weakness and negativity of others derail you from your purpose. This means you may have to make difficult decisions. You may have to distance yourself from friends or even family members who are holding you back. As the German poet Goethe said, "Tell me with whom you associate, and I will tell you who you are." Seek out mentors. Find peers who are on the same path, who will challenge you and hold you accountable. Build a circle of strength, a personal mastermind of individuals who embody the values you wish to cultivate in yourself. Your circle is your mirror. If you want to become the best version of yourself, you must surround yourself with the best. Now, before you go, let me tell you a story that brings all of these rules together. In a sun-scorched desert, two travelers, Omar and Zain, stumbled upon a small, half-empty canteen of water left by a previous caravan. Omar, seeing the canteen, fell to his knees and cried, "We are doomed. This is all that is left. The gods mock our thirst with this pitiful amount." He saw only the emptiness in the canteen, and his spirit filled with despair. He drank a little, but his fear made his thirst worse, and he could barely walk. Zain picked up the same canteen, felt its weight, and smiled. "Look, Omar, we are saved. There is still water here. The gods have left us a gift to continue our journey." He saw only the water that remained. He drank his share, and the hope it gave him renewed his strength. The canteen was the same, the water was the same, but for one, it was the beginning of the end. For the other, it was the end of the beginning. Zain and Omar faced the same reality, but their inner worlds determined their destinies. So it is with you. The life you have is a reflection of the choices you make, the discipline you cultivate, and the perspective you hold. These 10 rules are not merely a list to be memorized. They are a code for living, a path to be walked. The strongest version of yourself is not a destination you arrive at, but a character you forge every single day through conscious choice and relentless action. The journey begins not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, but now, with the very next decision you make. Choose wisely.